So great you could come along with us again. I am with Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a James Beard Award nominee. The group includes in Georgetown, the Sovereign. Over in Union Market, you have Red Apron. And what, did you have something else in Union Market?
Nope, just that.
Nope, just Red Apron. Lots of Red Aprons. Check it out. They're very good. It is always good to see you.
You too, bud.
What's on tap this week?
This week we have a beer from Other Half, an amazing cult brewery out of Brooklyn, New York, and now Rochester, New York, with more on the way. They are coming down here somewhat frequently now, sending kegs and cans and doing can sales. So we're going to be tasting Triple Citra Daydream.
Not hazy at all.
10.5%.
Oh, mommy.
Creamy, sweet, juicy. Entirely too drinkable for 10.5%.
Call my wife, tell her I won't be home tonight.
So we were getting ready to do this segment, and I was like, you're going to like this.
Yeah, and you were right. Shocker.
This is, they call it Imperial Oat Cream India Pale Ale because there is an obscene amount of oats in this beer that lends it that delicious, soft, silky, creamy texture, and there's a hint of lactose as well. So it gives it a little bit of sweetness and cream. And then it's just pulverized with Citra dry hopping. Amazing, delicious, juicy, sneaky triple IPA, and a great brewery.
Do you ever have people who are put off when they hear there are oats in beer? I mean, it's not unusual, but
no.
It's not, I think, so ubiquitous as,
Yeah, well, it's become ubiquitous because in the old days it was oatmeal stout, right? But people always, they drank those. There was nothing wrong. There's not too many oat allergies out there. But nowadays, people learn that oats soften the beer. They give you that creamy texture. And so instead of just putting it in stouts, they now put it into fruited sours, to give them more body and sweetness. They put them into pale ales and IPAs and double IPAs, triple IPAs. Sean Hill at Hill Farmstead, I think, was one of the first ones to really embrace adding oats to IPAs and pale ales for texture and to balance against the bitterness of the hops. What is a little bit more possibly problematic, of course, is lactose, because there's lactose intolerance is a well-known allergy. I'm sorry, not allergy, an intolerance. And so you have to be careful about that and disclose to the guest that there is lactose in these beers.
Okay. Now, they have two breweries currently, or two locations, and you said more to come, so they're expanding.
Yeah, so Sam Richardson, who is the brewing genius behind these beers, and then his partners, who are also amazing, Matt Monahan and Andrew Berman, they started Other Half in 2014 in the Red Hook neighborhood of Brooklyn, New York. And they embraced hazy IPA early on, went all in for it, secured hop contracts on some of the coolest hops out there, like Citra and Galaxy, and started churning out amazing beers. And as fate would have it, New York State passed a law allowing brewers to sell cans at the brewery to the guest in 2014 as well. So instead of just doing growlers now, they moved into canning, and they're known also for these like really cool Technicolor, kind of futuristic labels. All came together and making great beers like this. The beer took off like wildfire. I mean, there's some people were waiting in line. It was a really tiny brewery at the time for up to like 11 hours to get cans.
Whoa.
It was huge. And then they expanded. In 2017, they built a proper large tap room right next door. And then they bought a warehouse down the street for distribution. And so they've been kind of going up. In 2018, last year, they bought an existing brewery in Rochester, New York. So now they're producing out of there. They're about to open a second tap room in Brooklyn, this time in Williamsburg on the waterfront. And they're coming down to DC and opening a tap room and production facility here, hopefully early 2020 in the Ivy City neighborhood. Excuse me.
Which is blowing up.
Blowing up, yeah. So right near where Jose Magnus is, the distillery, Atlas Brewing Company's over there as well. City Winery, all over there. So they're busy. Their beers are amazing. We can't wait to have them more frequently in DC.
I've never been to Brooklyn. I really want. I'm going to be in New York soon, and I really want to carve out some time to go. And this is number one.
And of course, when you're up there, we'll be visiting the Grand Delancey, which
Yes.
is our new beer bar that should be opening, if we're lucky, right around now, mid to late October. And we are stressed out about that, but very excited.
You're going to make it.
Yeah.
What would you pair this with?
Big, it's strong and intense, but it's got these delicate floral, fruity, tangerine flavors. I think this would be amazing with charred octopus. That sweet fruit balancing against the salinity of the octopus and the char itself. I think it'd be a nice contrast there. Roasted duck. I think this could stand up to like a nice piece of duck. Fried chicken and waffles, because it's sweet enough to go with like some of that savory and sweet. And then I just think a simply prepared grilled fish, harkening back to the charred octopus idea, like halibut, turbo, anything like that, striped bass would be amazing.
Dynamite, Greg. Thank you as always. Everyone, please always do drink responsibly, and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another beer of the week.